Hi folks, Neil here from ECS Coffee, and as we lead up to the buying season for the holidays, you can see we're a little festive in the store, we wanted to do a video on Keurig versus Nespresso, which is kind of weird. They compete against each other, but there are actually two types of Nespresso machines. So here's our capsule overview, what the difference is, the different beverages you can get out of the Keurig line of machines, the Nespresso OriginalLine, and the VertuoLine. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Nespresso OriginalLine, and really the difference comes in the capsules. If you look at this guy here, that's an OriginalLine capsule, and then you can see this is the VertuoLine capsules. So these are your different capsules for your Nespresso machines. OriginalLine, you've probably seen this around. A lot of hotels will have that throughout the world. It's become kind of a standard in many high-end hotels, and they all make great beverages. There's just slight differences between them. So we're going to go through espresso beverages, and then we're going to go through coffee beverages, and then we're going to go through milk-based beverages and show you the differences between the three. So let's start off with an espresso from Nespresso OriginalLine. So we're going to take just your standard capsule, we lift the handle, we drop it in, we close. You have two sizes here. We're going to press the small because I've pre-programmed the large one to do a larger cup. So as you can see, nice and quick, you get a really nice crema from the Nespresso OriginalLine. Nice shot of espresso. 18 bars of pressure with this guy, which is really, really nice. So now we're going to move over to the VertuoLine. We're going to make an espresso. And you'll notice two different size capsules with the VertuoLine. The smaller ones are for the espresso, and the larger ones are more for a longer coffee. Okay? So we're going to start with the smaller one. And actually, I'm going to grab the same cup as before. Just pop it in. You know, actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you this little barcode on the bottom here is actually what the machine reads, and it spins the capsule, so it actually has a different brewing method than the OriginalLine. Let's close it and lock, and I'm going to grab an espresso cup. So espresso from Nespresso VertuoLine. Here we go. It's a little bit quieter because it spins rather than pressure brewing. And you can see we've got some crema. A nice crema on that. Compare it to the OriginalLine. Now the OriginalLine's been sitting for a minute or so, but you can see this is the VertuoLine crema on an espresso, which is really, really nice. And lastly, I'm going to show you what you can do with a Keurig, which in the way of a shot, I'm going to actually use a slightly larger cup for that. The Keurig line, we're going to take a standard K cup. Now, the difference between Keurig and say, we'll use a vanilla hazelnut, it doesn't really matter, and Nespresso is that Keurig actually is not pressure brewing, it's a filter brew. And a lot of people just say, well, I just want coffee or I want espresso. Espresso is done with a different preparation method than drip coffee. There's no filter paper involved. It comes by forcing pressure through the coffee. So that's what gives you the crema. Now with a drip machine, if Keurig has a filter in it, you can't get that pressure. It's not using that kind of pressure, so you will not get the crema. So we're going to close this down. We're going to press shot, and we're going to see what happens. The thing with the Keurig brewer is that not every brewer has the shot function. This is one of their higher end brewers that does have the milk cafe with it. So not every brewer does, but essentially if you were to press the 4-ounce size, that's the smallest you would get. So you're not going to get a real espresso out of a Keurig, and I'll show you the three side by side. But you can kind of see there's no crema on that. It's more of a drip coffee, and that's the big difference. So for those looking for espresso, if you're an espresso drinker, here's your three. You've got your OriginalLine, you've got your VertuoLine, and you've got your Keurig. Now, this is obviously for espresso-based drinkers, these two would be the winners. If you wanted to get into lattes and cappuccinos, I'm going to show you those in a bit, but now we're going to show you the coffees that they can make. So next we're going to make a long coffee on the Nespresso OriginalLine, and then we're going to make a coffee on the VertuoLine, then we're make a coffee to Keurig and show you the 3 differences. You have to use a Lungo capsule to get a long coffee, and on any of the Nespressos you can program the size button. So what I've done is I've pre-programmed the larger button to make us a longer coffee. You're not going to get a 16-ounce cup of coffee out of really any of these machines. There's just not enough coffee in the capsules to give you a really long cup of coffee, but 8 ounces is kind of the standard that we all go by in North America. So we're going to pop this capsule right in here. I'm going to put a full-size cup down below, and we're going to press the large button. And you can see with Nespresso, with both machines, you will see crema, and that is because of the brewing method not being a filter drip style coffee. The waiting game. There you go. So we got about an 8-ounce pour on this guy. I wouldn't want to go much further than that. And you can see we do have some crema on the top. And we'll pop over to the VertuoLine. Both of the Nespresso machines actually do dump the capsule, which is kind of cool. And you'll notice this time I'm taking a fatter capsule, not the thinner one, popping it in, closing it down, and we're going to press start. A little quieter the VertuoLine because it's spinning, it's not forcing pressure through, and it does a bit of a pre-infusion. I find with the VertuoLine you get a more crema, and that's based on the method it's spinning that capsule inside. I think they've done a really neat job with this machine. One of the things that the difference between the OriginalLine and the VertuoLine is that the VertuoLine capsules are only available from Nespresso boutiques or from Nespresso online. You cannot buy capsules that will work in this machine other than from Nespresso. So be aware of that, because sometimes not every consumer is informed of that when they buy the machine. With the OriginalLine, you can actually buy capsules from competing companies. The patent expired. I stop that, because it must have been programmed a little high, but that's okay. You can buy capsules from other manufacturers now. They make them for the OriginalLine machine. So you're not forced to buy anything from the Nespresso stores, although they make great coffee, but you can buy alternate products at different price points. So as you can see, we've got a really nice coffee here from the Nespresso, the OriginalLine, and the VertuoLine. Now we're going to do a Keurig, and you'll notice the difference with Keurig, regardless of which capsule we take, and let's just pick a random one. Van Hood Original is you're going to get a great cup of coffee out of any machine. We're going to press coffee, 8 ounce, and start. But you're going to get a drip style coffee. So it's not going to have that crema on top. That's becoming kind of the trend nowadays, because more and more people are visiting Europe or visiting hotels and enjoying that kind of coffee. But you will get a great, if you like going to Tim Hortons or McCafe or Dunkin' Donuts, whatever your favorite is, the Keurig is going to give you the coffee that is the most like that out of the bunch. And with Keurig, you can buy capsules that are made by Keurig, and there's also competing companies out there as well, and you can buy them pretty much anywhere. So we'll go back and we'll show you these 3 side by side. We've got Nespresso OriginalLine, we've got Nespresso VertuoLine, and we have Keurig, and that's coffee beverages that you're gonna get out of the 3. I like them all, but they are slightly different tastes. Again, drip coffee, spin pressure brewed, spin coffee, and this is a pressure brewed Nespresso. So next we're gonna go on to the milk-based drinks, and I'll show you the differences with those. Okay, now we're gonna do some milk-based drinks on all 3 machines, kind of show you the differences. One of the things that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the same frother for the OriginalLine and for the VertuoLine. It's basically the VertuoLine, if you buy one with a frother, it's gonna be basically the same thing. So just for for ease of videoing, so I don't have to show you milk being frothed twice. The Nespresso Frother that comes with most of these machines will look something like this, and it works relatively the same. And they're kind of neat because they're very, very easy to operate. You don't have to be a genius in order to make good milk froth. So all we do is, you see inside here, you can't actually see it, but there's a couple of lines that we want to go up to get frothy milk. So I'm just going to pour in to that line. And then what we do is put the lid on, put it on top, and press start. And again, I'm going to use this for milk for the original line and for the VertuoLine because it's identically pretty much the same. So let's make an espresso as well at the same time in this guy. So we'll get it going, and then we can pour the froth on top. So original line espresso coming into our cup while the milk is being frothed. And then we're going to actually, while the milk is being frothed, let's make ourselves an espresso on the VertuoLine. We'll do this guy right here, decaf, pop it in, and lock it up, and off we go. Let's say we've got the espresso from both. And this frother will automatically shut off too when it's done. So we've got 2 shots of espresso ready to go. You can make the milk more frothy for cappuccino and less frothy for a latte. I think we've got the frothy milk coming out here in a second, and it should just be another few seconds. It'll shut itself off, and then I'll pour them both. Okay, so we're shut off, and hopefully Jackie can zoom in on this milk. You can see how frothy that is there. So it's a nice froth, nice and easy to use, which we really like. And then we'll pour some in. There we go here. Make sure I have enough. And usually you get enough froth for about 2. So again, here's your frothy drinks from cappuccinos from your original line and from your VertuoLine. And again, you can adjust the amount of milk you want to put in. And then we're going to move over to the Keurig, and we're going to make a latte style cappuccino with that machine, show you the differences. So in this guy here, I'm going to get some milk. We've got a frother built into this machine. Again, not all Keurigs come with a frother. Let's just see if I have enough milk here. I might have to get some more, a little bit more. But there are 2 lines in this machine as well. There's a cappuccino line and a latte line. So we're going to go to cappuccino just for consistency. Pop the lid on right here. Keurig. And we're going to latte cappuccino. And we're going to get a capsule, so let's just get rid of that old capsule. We'll grab another original house blend from Van Hoot. We're going to close this down. And we're going to go with cappuccino. And with the Keurig, milk will be frothed. So we're going to do a shot of coffee into the machine. I'm going to wait till it's done so you can kind of see both separately. Keurig will give you 6, 8, 10, and 12 ounces in this machine. And the shot's going to be a bit smaller, around 3 to 4. So it's beeping to let us know that the milk is done. You can see there's going to be pretty decent froth in there. It's a nice frothy milk that you're getting out of the Keurig, nice and hot. You can do it cold as well, and you can have it setting for a latte if you want to have less froth and a little more steamed milk. So now we're going to do the coffee. We're going to do the latte. We're going to do the shot, and we're going to hit go. And in just a second, you'll see some coffee coming out. Again, not under pressure like the Nespresso. But for a lot of people that are not looking for an espresso beverage, they're looking for the lattes and cappuccinos, the Keurig might be the way to go. If you want that drip style coffee every day, but you want to have a specialty beverage. For a lot of people, it's a nice kind of hack towards getting yourself a cappuccino or a latte. Plus, Keurig has a lot more flavors available to it than Nespresso on the market. So here we go. So now we have our coffee portion done, our shot done, and we're going to pour the milk in. And you're going to see some froth coming out at the top there. Some pretty good froth, nice cappuccino. So here we have it, guys. Keep in mind the Nespressos have been sitting now for a minute or two. We have our original line Nespresso, we have our VertuoLine Nespresso, and we have our Keurig. And this is going to be your cappuccino drinks from all three. So there's no perfect solution for everybody. It really depends on what it is you like to drink. If you're an espresso drinker and a cappuccino drinker, I say go with an espresso beverage. If you're a drip coffee drinker, like I said before, you like your Dunkin' Donuts, your Tim Hortons, your McCafe, that sort of thing, I think Keurig is the way to go. That is if you're going for capsule machines. I will touch very quickly on the recyclability of the products. Nespresso, depending on where you are, does have a recycling program for their capsules. Keurig is working on, they are recyclable, a lot of their capsules, and they're working towards being more recyclable, and I expect that will happen in the next year or so. There are compostable products for all three, for the Keurig and the original line. They're on the market, not made by those companies, but they are available out there. If you're a customer of ECS Coffee here in Burlington or Lancaster, Ontario, we have a capsule upcycle program where you can bring them back at no charge on about 250 brands or varieties, and growing, where we actually ensure that none of the capsules go to landfill. So that's my overview of Keurig versus Nespresso. If you like what you're seeing today, please subscribe below. Give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate the support. Have a wonderful day.